first big movie, you did The Rundown, and you starred with The Rock. What was it like? What was he like back in those days when his career really was starting to really take off?
He was a great guy. You know, it was funny, that scene that you're talking about where he comes to take my...
Right at the very beginning of The Rundown, if you've never seen it, Bishop has a ring and Rock...
He comes to take my Super Bowl ring, and I, throw drinks in his face. And then he proceeds to wipe the floor with me. But while we were shooting that, the first 2 or 3 takes of the drink throwing in the face, I missed. It was The Rock. I threw it over his shoulder. You know what I mean? Like, one hit him in the shoulder, one went over his shoulder. We cut. He leans in. He says, "Listen, man, I really appreciate the respect, but I really need you to humiliate me in this scene." And gave me full license to really get into that character and make it happen. Okay, let's roll it. The next take, bow right in the face. The next bow right in the face. So he was so cool, and he was already a huge star from wrestling, but in the acting, this was his first major, role, I believe. And I actually auditioned. Peter Berg brought me into the trailer to audition for this role instead of to a auditioning casting studio or whatever. And I'm reading. I said, "Okay, Pete, I'm ready." He looks outside. "Okay, he's ready." And in walks The Rock. So now I'm auditioning opposite him.
In a small trailer.
In a trailer, yeah. And after the audition, Pete calls me. He says, "Listen, first of all, you were the best actor. Second of all, you were the only guy that came into that trailer and didn't crumble when The Rock walked in. So this is why you're getting this part." And so that was my first big job. That was my first major studio movie and the first of 6 projects with Peter. So Pete Berg, thank you again for everything you've done for me in my career. Without you, my career would not have blossomed. So I will never forget you for that. Thank you, brother.
So amazing. You watching film, CJ, right? And it's one scene in a movie can change somebody's life and career and trajectory. Yeah. And you're watching the movie and it's just another scene in the movie, but you don't realize behind the scenes there's a guy whose life has just been changed after The Rock, beats the crap out of him in a bar.
Pete Berg came onto the show. Pete Berg was here a few years ago, and I was in the back talking to him. I brought up your name, and he just lit up, man, and he was very complimentary of you. So
awesome.
You guys do have that Cameron Crowe, Eric Stoltz thing where you kind of he puts you on a lot of his stuff, and I think that's super dope.
Yeah, no, that was the day also that I learned that I do not need to be doing my own stunts. And when I do them, which I force them to let me do in Moneyball, when I do them, I need to take advantage of the pads that they offered me. Because when I was doing that scene where he was hitting me with the turntable and I had to flop face first on the wood floor at that nightclub, the first 3 takes, I was like, I don't need knee pads and elbow pads. Yeah. And then I come up with floor burns. And I'm like, hey, can I get those pads? It was a learning experience.
It's a great moment, though, for an actor's career to get, the crap kicked out of him by The Rock.
Yeah.
To get things going.
A lot of people still recognize me from that.
Hey, the guy from The Rundown. How you doing?